Ladies and gentlemen, the following, well, hold on. The Wrestling Fans Podcast, Ringside Society, proudly presents to you another magnificent episode of 15 Minutes of Fandom. That's right. That's where we take the spotlight and put it on one wrestling fan that we feel stands out from the rest. So, with that being said, I'm your host, that ocean crossing, straight up Boston, flight catching, shot glass snatching. Where's he going next? Nobody knows. Four continents down, two more to go. No cap, straight facts, the worldwide star boy, Remy Blue. But it's not about me because you see, we have a special guest here who is incredible. She's actually a graduate of New York University. She has a master's from New York University. She's a fellow content creator like us here at Ringside Society. And she's also, above all, a wrestling fan. Everybody, welcome to the show, Menor. How you doing tonight?
I'm good. I'm excited. This is my first interview being live. So I'm really excited and nervous. So I hope we get all the fun things happening. But thank you so
Really?
much for having me. I'm super excited.
Wait, really? It's your first podcast? Like I would have thought that,
Yes.
the way you've been, you would have been on multiple of these. So I'm not because that was the impression I had. But
Not
we're
yet.
we're we're glad that you chose that you gave us this honor. We're really and truly grateful for it. And we're definitely hopefully this is the first of many appearances for you on here. But
Yes.
normally I normally ask the majority of our guests that we have on the show, how did your love for professional wrestling start? What was the match or the pay per view or the event that you saw that made you go, "Hey, that's pretty cool. I'm gonna tune in next week, next month. Y'all got a fan of me for life now."
um, I would say, well, fun fact, I used to amateur wrestle when I was in high school.
Okay.
So while I was growing up, I was a big fan of China. And I was like, I want to keep watching this woman. She's great. And when she was on TV, I was still very young. So I probably didn't remember, but as I was upcoming in like middle school, I remember watching like Backlash and WrestleMania and was like, this is really cool and I want to do this. But obviously I would tell my mom and she was like, no, you're a girl. You can't do that. That's not for, for you. Until I was a freshman in high school. And I won't ever forget it back 2010. There was like a boys wrestling team tryout. And I was like, well, it says boys, but I'm still gonna try out and see. And at I was silly old me. I was like, this is just like what's on TV. it's, it's not. Amateur wrestling is very different. It's not it's not like you know who's gonna win. You're actually trying to beat the other person. And I tried out, made the team, and I since then I've always compared what I watch on TV as entertainment to like what I experienced. So I would say that was like my moment, like seeing China and then seeing AJ Lee, who's like one of my faves as well. Her match, particularly, she had a match with Naomi. Forgetting the year it happened, but this one Naomi was still early NXT stages, and I remember AJ Lee seeing her, and I was like, wow, like that's my twin. I loved watching her, and so yeah, those were like those moments that really got me into wrestling.
Wow, that's cool. You know, so I gotta ask you. You're well, I'm gonna ask you later. But so, did you growing up like? So you got to so I could tell you. I think you're a fan of AJ Lee, and
Mm.
who were some of your favorites that you enjoyed that you were like, you know what? I don't want to hear nothing right now. My person is on my favorite wrestler, my favorite person is on TV. I'm only tuned into them. Who were some of your favorites that had you like that you just paid close attention to?
I would definitely say Shawn Michaels, the Hardy Boys, I have so many Eddie Guerrero. I loved Eddie Guerrero. Rey Mysterio. Um, let me see. I'm trying to think. because I have so many. Well, Mercedes is still my favorite wrestler, but when I first met her as Sasha, Rhea is also one of my faves. Those are like more, I would say, recent generation. If we're thinking generation wise, like more recent wrestlers. Yeah, those are like my go to. Don't talk to me. I always have a fit when I see them.
Okay.
Yeah, I would say those. Bianca, and I also say jazz too. So yeah.
Oh, jazz. Wow, you going old? Well, not
Yeah.
too old school, but you going way back when, man. Like that.
Yeah.
So did you ever get to meet any of them in person? I mean, I know you got to meet Sasha Banks, well now Mercedes Monet, but did you ever get to meet
Yes.
any of the other wrestlers that you grew up watching?
Only the Hardy Boys. Oh, I met Carlito. Carlito is also one of my favorites.
Okay.
But I met the Hardy Boys. And that was like I was like gagged because I was like, oh my gosh, these are like my favorite brothers. But also when I was watching them, I just felt like it was during a time where when I was in school, so I'm from New York for context, and
Yeah.
growing up in the Bronx, like there was people were giving each other like DXs and open necks, and
Oh,
the Hardy Boys. I remember being in the calf and intimidating, like doing the same movements they would do. Um, so meeting them was kind of like I feel like the little girl in me is having a big a big heart attack. I also I met Carlito. He was super nice, but it was like a quick moment just telling him how I'm from Puerto Rico. Super nice. His dad actually, my mom and my grandma, they grew up watching him. His dad, because he used to wrestle for a company in Puerto Rico. I think it still exists.
WWC.
Yeah, so they grew up
Yeah.
watching him. So I think it's in my blood to watch wrestling. Um, and so yeah, those are a few. I also met Samantha Irving. Met her for a few seconds. Let me see who else. Oh, I actually got on um I met what is his name? It's escaping me. Matt Riddle. But I met
Okay.
him when he was picking up his luggage. He was super nice. It was during WrestleMania. Um he was real nice. He was wrestling not WrestleMania, I'm sorry, for Royal Rumble that happened earlier this year. Hi Manny. Sorry. I see like the comments.
That's okay.
I met him and he was really nice and chilled. Um yeah, so I've met a few in passing. I almost met Zelina Vega. She's also
Mm,
like someone I like a lot, but she looked like she was busy, and I was like, I don't want to bother her and be a weirdo. So,
yeah. Yeah, I get that feeling. Like I've met, like when I went to WrestleMania in Vegas this past year, I met
mhm,
so many wrestlers, and I went up to them. I said hi. Some of them that were even on this show, because we obviously, we interview wrestlers as well too. Some of them that were on the show. I was like, hey, you did our show. Thank you, I appreciate it. But I didn't want to bother them, like you know, with getting a picture because I was like, some of them are just there as fans, and I didn't want to be that guy
mhm.
that's like, yeah, let me get a fan, let me get a picture, and I'm like, I mean, I just
Yeah.
because I was in the Navy,
Mhm,
and I was in Japan, and I was like, when I'd get off work, even when I was stationed in North Carolina, I'd be like,
mhm,
okay, I'm off work. I'm done dealing with people. I don't want to hear nothing. I don't want to know nothing. I want to go home, unwind, get out of my uniform, and just sleep or go out and unwind or something. So I know how they are. That's why I'm like, I'm very, even when I do meet them at meet and greets, I'm very short because I know
mhm.
how it is, So
Yeah,
I understand where you're coming from. But
yeah. Who
yeah,
who have who have you met, or has been your favorite person that you have met?
so this is gonna be old school. I don't know how far back your knowledge goes, but Marty Jannetty, who was Shawn Michaels' first
Okay.
tag team partner, I
Yes,
met
yes.
him, and funny thing is, I never marked out to wrestlers because like I'm like I said, when I went to my first live wrestling show, or no, when I went to like my first indie show, my good friend
Mhm,
Chris Cartwright, who's actually our Facebook admin here at Ringside Society, he told me like, just go there, be cool, be chill, don't mark out, shake hands, and just be
Mhm.
chilling. And that's a mannerism I've had to this day. And it's
Mhm.
afforded me many opportunities where wrestlers have just like shot the breeze with me. Not trying to boast, but they've just been like cool with me, and I just like
Mhm.
And sometimes when I met one, and I told her like, hey, we don't have to talk wrestling. I mean, I'm into other things. I'm into photography. I'm into music. I'm into travel.
Yeah.
We don't have to talk about wrestling. And she's like, no, it's fine, it's fine. But yeah, I met Marty, and when I met Marty Jannetty, I was like, bro, like yo, I can't believe like yo, you were one of my favorite wrestlers, man. Like you and Sean, y'all were like my first favorite wrestling tag team, and I don't have like a lot of favorite wrestling tag teams. I mean, there was you guys, and then I kind of marked out because like the 7-year-old me was actually couldn't believe I was seeing you know, this man live and in person. But I got to meet him, and then I've met Buff Bagwell, who unfortunately we heard about his recent surgery. Buff, if you listen to this, get well
Yeah.
soon, bro. I've met Bret Hart. I've met several people. I met Taz's cousin, Chris Chetty, who used to wrestle in ECW. I've met
Mm.
who else? I've met several people. Actually, you know who I recently met? I lost count. A lot of them were indie wrestlers, but I've met Panina, P Nasty for I don't know if you
Mhm.
watch LFG,
Yes, she's one of
but
my favorite. I literally just had a sorry, like I just literally had a conversation with someone. I was like, from LFG, she's my favorite. Like, she be doing the thing. I love it.
yeah, yeah. So I was at the superstore, getting
Hmm.
a shirt, and I actually saw her, and I'm like, wait a minute, are you P Nasty? I didn't know what her first name was. I'm like, "Are you P Nasty?" I'm like, "Yo, you killing our LFG," and we got to take a picture together and everything. And yeah, that was definitely a fun time. I got to meet Sop. It's crazy how things work out, and this is why sometimes it's good to just go up and ask if you could take a picture with some of these wrestlers, especially the legends. I got to take a
Hmm.
picture with Sabu mere weeks before he passed away. So
Wow.
I was like, that's wild. Like I would have never had that picture if I would have missed the whole opportunity. I mean, I'm not trying to sound any way, but I would have missed it, missed that opportunity if I was like, nah, I'm not gonna bother him. So
Yeah.
sometimes it pays off.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So you're tuning in every day. You're going to the shows. Have you ever gotten to go to any of the wrestling shows when you were like younger, like WrestleMania? Oh, you did go to WrestleMania last year.
I did. I did go
Yeah.
last year.
Did you get to go this?
But huh?
Did you get to go this year?
I did. I did go this year. I
Oh,
went. This year was my third WrestleMania that
okay.
I've attended ever in my life. So I did my first wrestling show that I got to attend in person was actually in my adulthood. So was in before the pandemic. That was in 2019 or early 2020.
Okay.
I'm missing the years because before that I was in college, and then before that when I was like in high school, um, and middle school. Middle school, my mom couldn't afford to take me, but I also, I'm an only child, so my mom was kind of like, yeah, you can't go. I'm not taking you. You can't go by yourself.
It's like that
Um,
sometimes.
and yeah, and then high school, I was kind of like, no one really wants to go with me. So, um, I went as an adult for the first time. It was in Barclays, and I cried. It was like, I think it was Raw. It might have been Raw or
Mhm.
SmackDown, but I was like amazed. I cried because I was like, this is actually happening. And since then, if I get the opportunity to go to any of the events in New York, I make it my business to go.
Yeah, I went to this year was my third WrestleMania, and I went to Las Vegas. I was To me last year's one was better. This year's one was like because I'm not really a fan of Las Vegas because I'm like just another
Yeah,
city with lights, and I've done this before, and or maybe it's because of the fact that like I said, I live in New York. We got a lot of excitement over in New York, and
yeah.
then I lived in South Florida near Miami for 7 years.
Hmm.
And I don't know if you know Miami. Miami's another city of excitement. And
Yeah.
then I was in San Antonio for half a year, and then I was in Cali for like South San Diego, near San Diego for like
Mhm.
a year. So by the time I got to Las Vegas, and then of course before I got to Las Vegas, I was in Japan, and I went to Tokyo and
Mhm.
Osaka. So by the time I get to Las Vegas, I'm like, man, I'm not impressed by this. Man, I mean, it's nice. It's a lit up city, but I mean, it's like I don't see the urge to party, and it's expensive and all that, you know. So,
Mhm.
but I enjoyed WrestleMania this year, although last
Mhm.
year was better, and it was my third one as well too. So yeah, that
Yeah,
was some.
I feel the same. Like last year, when it was in Philly, it was just like a very nostalgic moment, being there and seeing Cody win because I was there the year before when it was in California.
Oh, I know you was hot.
And yeah,
You
I
was
was
hot about that.
first of all, I was so pissed. I started crying, seeing all these people throwing up ones. I was like, that is so unfair. Cody has to finish his story. I was a Cody cry baby. I was definitely one of those people. Um, I was upset because I'm like, this is bullshit. This no. But those are the things that I love about wrestling, and like it really gets you emotional because it feels like leading even Cody leading up to his match, like he had like so much like things happening to him, just like even personally, and I'm just like, you have to give this man this belt. So seeing it happen in Philly and how Seth played a role, I always say like Seth was the Iron Man of it all. He um took that hit, and I hope he gets better soon because it's really killing me that he's injured right now, but just seeing like everyone just be there for Cody was really amazing. Yeah, this year I was a little bit like, okay. Like I enjoyed it, but also I'm also a little bit annoyed that they're going back, if I'm being honest, to Vegas, but
Yeah, I mean,
yeah.
I'm. So here's my mindset about that is I'm gonna go again. I'm gonna give it one more
Yes.
chance. I'm gonna one more time. I'm gonna go to Vegas. Not because of that, but because I like to. Like I said, I'm a podcaster, and I like to network with
Mm,
people and meet fans like yourself and have them on the show, and also meet wrestlers and have them on
mhm,
the show. Actually, I had a ring announcer who actually I gave my business card to, and surprisingly, she actually was like, "Yeah, I remember you gave me a business card. Are you guys still? I could do your show." And I was like surprised because it was a ring announcer that I was very and a commentator. She was a ring announcer and commentator that I was very impressed by, and I never thought
yeah.
she would want to be on our show, and it happened. So I was I'm gonna go back just not just for wrestling, but to commentate. But if they
Mhm.
decide that they're gonna do a third WrestleMania straight in Las Vegas, I'm like, nah. I'm gonna
Yeah.
I'm gonna take. I'm just gonna use that time to go to some foreign country like I normally do and chill out there. And I don't know, because
Yeah.
yeah. So I'm
I know
not.
they're gonna start doing what is it called? They're gonna stream apparently the shows like WrestleMania and movie theaters. So I think that will be the next move for people if they keep doing Vegas. Um
Movie theater? No, man. I'm gonna go to nah. You know, I don't know if you know Jabba Tears. You know Janelle from HR. Here's what I'm gonna
yeah.
do. Jabba Tears is not cutting me a paycheck, but I'm gonna head over to Legends on 33rd Street, and I'm gonna chill there. I'm not paying. No, no.
Yeah, they're gonna
I'm
do
going
it.
to no
I
movie
mean,
theater.
a lot of people are excited about it because it'll be
Somebody's
in the
going.
big screen.
Somebody might throw popcorn on you because because they're mad, or soda because their man didn't win or their girl didn't win. And nah, I'm good. I'm good. I'm gonna go to the bar. At least I know I got kind of a bit of a control of that situation over there.
Yeah. Yeah.
WrestleMania in a movie theater. I mean, it's been done before, but it's not really my scene.
Yeah.
So, I noticed that you're a traveler like myself. You made it to Paris.
Mhm.
Congratulations on that. Did you get
Thank
to see any
you.
wrestling over there?
No, it was because of time, no, because like everything was like set up and like scheduled. Um, but no, I didn't. I wish we had the time to. It would be really
Oh,
cool.
okay.
But I do plan to I'm planning to go to Puerto Rico soon. for Bad Bunny's residency, and I really want to go and um check out their lucha libre, check out their I think they have
WWE.
two. Yeah, I think they also have like another training center. And I want to go and like visit and just be like meet people there. I follow some of their wrestlers. And I speak Spanish, so you know, I'm going to be talking to them in Spanish. So I'm like excited for that too.
That's cool. So with that now, you go, and I hope you have a very enjoyable time. Let me know how it is, so that in case I
Yeah.
decide to go to, San Juan or Bayamon or Ponce,
Mhm.
I don't know where they keep. I don't know where they keep their shows. I assume it's San Juan, since it's the capital city, but I don't know.
Mhm.
But let me know how it goes, because I might just swing by there one of these days. Hopefully, there's a wrestling show, and I wouldn't mind checking it out. But
Yeah.
so with that being said, so have you ever thought about actually getting in the business yourself, like as a wrestler? I mean, you have the amateur wrestling background, and I've seen
Yes.
amateur wrestlers be. I mean, we got Tyra May Steele now, who just won LFG, so and she's a
Mm.
gold medalist. So have you ever thought about getting into it yourself?
I have. I actually trained at House of Glory.
Okay,
Um I trained so when I first went, I went to their open house. I believe it happened in 23 in 2023. They had an open house where you can just go, and it was very I was not expecting, luckily I had like workout clothes, but it was like basically like an actual tryout, and I was like, oh man. So we did a couple things, and at the end of it, they asked, you know, if they call you out, that means they want you to stay and potentially train. And I was one of the few that they called and asked to stay. And I was like, wow, like this is a thing. But so Amazing Red, aka Red, was the person who told me, I want you to stay and train here. You
what?
know, yeah. So
That's
I
a big honor.
yeah, so I was like, wow, like this is great. And I remember calling friends, and I'm like, oh my gosh, like he asked me to stay. Um and that was like really important to me. And then I trained for some time. And then like personal things happened, so I took time off. Took time off. But I told myself, if I come back, I really want to train as a referee.
Okay,
Because I really want to be a ref. Like if I I always say, like, when decide to take myself serious with what I put out in the world, I really want to be a ref, because I just love the importance that a ref plays in a match. Like, you're the timekeeper, but you're also making sure that everyone's okay, that they stay on status to the script. Also, like, you are like kind of, sometimes you signal to what's going on if a wrestler forgets something. So um nonetheless, I went last year. I went back last year. But then I had gotten laid off from work, and it's expensive. You have to like pay for these trainings. So
right.
I haven't went back since, but I do want to go back. I've taken bumps. I've taken couple hits, rolls, and I love it. I still am in contact with some of the hog wrestlers. Um and it's a good experience, because while I was training, I really appreciated just like everyone from all walks of life is there, and they train, and these are like real humans. And I think that that's something that um sometimes I feel like we forget. I mean, even me as a fan, like, this is a real person who, like, now is blown up and famous. And just seeing some of those wrestlers there is really impactful. Seeing who they are outside of their character is just like really beautiful. So yeah, all that to say, I do want to go back. But I did train for some time.
Wow, that's awesome. Congrats on actually taking that step, that not a lot of fans would take
Mhm.
in training, and that's impressive. That Amazing Red
Yeah.
wanted you to stay. That shows something. I think you should give it another shot. I mean, y- hey, something that a lot of people don't realize. Not everybody's going to be a wrestler.
Yeah.
And that's the beauty about pro wrestling. There are so many avenues you can use outside of being a pro wrestler and still be a part of the industry. I mean, you could be a
Mhm.
referee. I mean, If it wasn't for the referee, all we'd be seeing are two big dudes or two females, laying haymakers on each other, and eventually you're gonna get tired of it. So
Yeah.
the match has to end sometime. So you know, you could be a referee, you could be a ring announcer, you could be a commentator, you could be a manager. You still be
Mhm.
manager because not everybody's good on the mic. So I
Mhm.
mean, yeah, I mean, if I hope you definitely do decide to consider getting back into it. And when you become a referee, we call dibs on the first interview when you become a referee because
Yes.
we also. I wish my co-host Rob could have been here because Rob Bass is actually he's a referee himself. He's a referee for 1CW down in
Oh,
Delaware,
wow.
which is another great promotion. So he's he's a referee, and we've had referees. We had Mr. Black. I don't know if you know Mr. Black from Jobbers
Yes.
here.
Yes. Yes.
We've had him on here too. So yeah, we
Yes.
we definitely interview referees. So if you put on those stripes,
I
let us
got y'all.
know.
I'll
We,
make sure.
we will definitely be knocking on your door. Hey, we gotta talk about that referee career. You know,
Yes. I've always thought like, well, how do you like and I've always been told like you should train as a wrestler first to like really do it. But sometimes I'm like some of these people who are referees, I don't know if they were pro wrestlers first. So what's the secret? So if you're watching this, tell me the secret because I I don't mind training, but you know, there has to be another way. That
yeah.
was
But for
taken
some reason, I don't know. I can imagine you, doing you're hosting, you're refereeing some match between two women, and one of them gets in your face, and all of a sudden, amateur wrestler, New York State amateur wrestler champion Menor, you know, makes her appearance and hits her with a belly to back suplex. I mean, I don't know. I got a feel we might see that from you if you get back
Imagine,
into it, and
yeah.
we're all for it. So I gotta say, so you're Puerto Rican. You're not just Puerto Rican. You're New Rican, and I gotta ask you. I don't think I've had a Puerto Rican on here in a hot minute. How does
Yes.
it feel to see Puerto Ricans, Puerto Rican wrestlers have a renaissance on the mainland? I mean, and you know what I'm talking about. I mean, come on, you just had Zelina Vega from
Mhm.
Queens, Puerto Rican, former WWE United States champion. You just had Damian Priest, first WWE
Mhm.
world champion since Pedro Morales back in the 70s.
Mhm.
You got Carlito, he was just there. And
Mhm.
of course, Mike Santana, you
Mhm.
know, who I know I saw the emotion and I know you was like up here and he
Yes,
even
yes,
followed you, so
yes.
now we just gotta get Ortiz and Eddie Kingston to
Mhm.
follow you, and it's going to be good. But how does it feel to see like all those people from your your that share the same culture as shining and representing the great country of Puerto Rico?
It feels really good. I actually forgot to mention I met Damian Priest actually when he was here and they gave him on Grand Concourse here in the Bronx, they gave him like a street with his name on it. And I was invited to go to like a ceremony and I got to meet him. But he was
You
really
want to hear something
nice.
crazy? He
Yeah.
has a brother. He has a brother that wrestles too.
Yes, yes. He and they
Local,
look alike. And they
local,
look alike. Yeah.
Loco Martinez. I couldn't believe it when we had him on. We
Mhm.
didn't even know that was brother, and
Mhm.
we were like, okay, all right. I mean, that wouldn't have stopped me from having him on the show regardless. But I was like, wow, I thought you just had the name Martinez as a different. Okay, good to know. Yeah, but
Yeah.
go ahead.
Yeah, but it just feels like really it feels like a breath of fresh air. Particularly when I saw Zelina be on the island. For me, like I was sobbing. I'm a crybaby for those that don't know. But I just felt like so, being able to see someone live real dreams, like it's such a I don't know, us Puerto Ricans, we have like a lot of orgullo when it like especially during the Puerto Rican Day parade and when we call it like Boricua season, like we rep our flags hard. Like that is in my household, we probably have like 3 flags. So it was beautiful to see Zelina and represent us where um wear what she wears, and it's just like when she did it in black and white recently, like that's all beautiful. And seeing Damien, and I mean, it's just, and Mike, like Mike, I feel like is so relatable, especially because I followed him since he was in AEW, and just like his story, his real personal story, and how he grew up in the Bronx, which I'm also, it's nothing like a Puerto Rican and being from the Bronx. Like those are two things. People who are from there, we go hard. So, seeing Mike and feeling like this is someone that we could relate to, has experienced a lot of the things we've gone through, and putting that story into something like wrestling. Because I think what they embody is that they all had like either difficult upbringing, or had a difficult time just trying to figure out who they are, and how wrestling allows them to be themselves, but also someone else at the same time. And I love that about wrestling, because you can be a heel anytime you want to be mean, right? Or you want to be, if you want to be a baby face, or if you want to be the anti-hero, like the middleman. So just seeing them is just like a reminder of like real life. I know a lot of people say wrestling is not real and all this stuff, but
Well,
no. These are real people who are putting their bodies on the line, but also like the mental um and emotional parts that come with that. And just seeing them is just like, I don't know, I get emotional thinking about it every time. So, seeing Mike, I know like sometimes like wrestling, like they don't want you, a lot of it is like written to keep you surprised at the edge of your seat, because at the end of the day it's entertaining. But seeing him lose, I was like, nah, this I don't know, because the Puerto Rico's been taking L's all month. We had Amanda Serrano lost again. So I'm just
yeah.
like, I can't, like,
But
we need a win.
you know what I'm gonna say? One thing I'm gonna say, and I'm not saying this, I'm not pandering to you. I'm not trying to curry favor with you or the Puerto Rican culture at all. Even though
Mhm.
every Christmas I gotta have coquito in my house. I'm probably one of the few non-Puerto Ricans that make that a thing. But the New Yorkers, I've never seen a New Yorican that is not good at promos on the mic. Santana, you got Ortiz. I can't wait till he comes back too. You got Eddie Kingston,
Mhm.
who a lot of people doubt. And it's like even Damian Priest, like those, and those are like people that are great on the mic that cut great promos. So, man,
Mhm.
it's I don't know, maybe it's something about the Bronx, man, but y'all got, and y'all say it with heart. Y'all be like, yeah, you don't know what the struggle is. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
I could do it. And it's like you could be living in the suburbs in one of them rich neighborhoods, and you could feel like you was in the struggle with you.
Mhm.
You were in the trenches with that guy. Like, yeah, I feel you
Mhm.
too. You know, even though I live in a cul-de-sac, but yeah, I know there's a hard knock life. So
Yeah.
y'all, hey, they good at
Yeah.
that, man.
I've
But
always said like I think that will be my specialty. I don't know. I would really need to have someone in front of me, but I think I could cook somebody on the mic. I think I could. I haven't really cut a promo before, but I really, if I know like enough info of somebody, I've always been ready to like, yeah, I'm ready to cut up on the mic.
one thing about us New Yorkers, you know, even though I'm a New Yorker by living there after all these years. Originally, I was born in Guyana, but we could be witty with words. We
Yeah.
could be witty with like with like certain like we got the gift of gab. I don't care what nobody says. And nobody beat a New Yorker when it comes to the gift of gab. It's
Hmm.
like we just nice with the words. Like, you know, I'm sorry, it is what it is. That's the one thing I'm
Yeah.
gonna say about it. I challenge anybody to tell us otherwise. You
Yeah.
know.
And I don't know if you know, but also I forgot about her, but Carissa Rivera, who used to be Electra Lopez, she's also Puerto
Oh, yep.
Rican.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if she's from New York, that I don't know, but I've also, she's
Still,
another
still Puerto
um
Rican. Still
yeah,
part of the
she's
culture.
another wrestler that I'm just like, yeah, she's my girl. I really hope I follow her too, and I'm just hoping like, she's great. So I'm hoping to see her maybe one day make it to like back to the bigger companies, but sometimes like like Naomi. I mean, I know Naomi is not Puerto Rican, but like Naomi is another person I admire because she left somewhere to like find out who she was. And sometimes I think about wrestlers when they're let go, like Carissa, that sometimes leaving is not, might be, I can't imagine how difficult that might be, but also like to reinvent yourself to see who you really are and as a wrestler. So, I'm praying for her, and she's like one of my faves too.
Yeah, sometimes that's why I know it's like, and this is why I tell people you can't really like down the other promotions. Like I know people like to down AEW, like all they all elderly wrestling or all
Hmm.
this wrestling, and I'm like, y'all are missing the bigger picture. It's like these are places that give these men and women a second chance. Like Tony Storm, tell me you're not enjoying what Tony Storm is doing right now. Even if you're not a fan, you find some of the stuff
Yeah.
she says is funny. You ain't even got to be. I'm not a fan of Tony Storm, but I find the stuff that she says has me cracking up. I'm like,
Hmm.
yo, this woman is wilding. You know,
Yeah.
I don't think some of the stuff she says WWE would have allowed it, but
Hmm. Hmm.
AEW is a different kind of ball game, and she was able to show that she can be more than just another pretty face that can wrestle. She can be hilarious
Hmm.
on the mic. So
Yeah.
yeah, honestly, I think we're going to see Carissa again. You can't keep that one was a second generation wrestler, and she's good.
Hmm.
You can't keep her down. I think we're
Yeah.
going to see her again. So
Yeah.
I just got couple more questions before we shut it down. So what SummerSlam? How you feeling about that, man? I mean, are you going all two? You got to go all 2 nights, man. Come on,
I am going both nights. So let's if you're going, I would love to meet you in person, or whoever
I'll be there.
anyone else watching this. Okay, yay. I do plan to dress up. Um it's one of usually what I like to do is like to dress up as someone one night and then the next day put on like a really cool t-shirt. But I'm gonna try to dress up both nights. But I mentioned one of if folks are listening, I mentioned one of the people that I am going to dress up as. So I'll leave you guessing. um, so I'm really excited. What I think it's a good card. I am really I don't know what story they're going to do. They're probably going to do like Roman and Braun. Um, but I was really hoping to see Seth kick some ass. But other than that, like I'm excited for it. I'm also going to SmackDown the Friday before, so I'll be all 3 days full on wrestling.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know if I'm going to go to that SmackDown before because I mean House of Glory is
I
during.
know.
Wait, where is SmackDown? Is it in New Jersey or is it going to be in New York?
It's in Jersey, and I brought the
Mm,
SmackDown tickets before I knew Hog was having something, and Bubba is gonna be there with Zilla, and now I'm like, shit. Now I
yeah,
don't
I
know what I'm
might
doing.
I might I just might go to Hog. I'm into House of Glory show in months, maybe a year. But I think I'm definitely gonna check it out. Their shows are great, and I think I'm gonna go. So I'm gonna have a busy week because one, I want to go to North Carolina to meet these legends because there's a fan convention going
Mm,
down in North Carolina, and then I might fly back up on
okay.
Friday, and then I'll try to hit House of Glory, and then SummerSlam, and maybe I might do Raw. I don't know. If Raw's in New York, I think it's gonna be in New York, right? SmackDown
I think
or
so. Yeah. I
Bark.
think it's gonna be in Barclays. Yeah, I think from what I
I
saw
might
was for Monday.
I might do Raw. And I gotta see how I feel, but definitely SummerSlam is a must that I'm definitely gonna do, and I'm looking forward to. I'm glad they did it. It's funny how I find it's funny how I think about certain things and then it happens eventually. Like a couple of years ago, I was thinking, something, they have a big WrestleMania weekend. And now they have WrestleMania as 2 nights. Why don't they do SummerSlam for 2 nights? I mean, everybody's out of
Hmm.
school, people are on vacation. It's a great time to
Yep.
make some money. And lo and behold, boom, now SummerSlam is a big thing. It's 2 nights now. So I'll definitely be going both nights. Can't go one night and then not go the other. So I'll definitely be there. I might, if you see me, let me know. I mean, hey, just be like, hey, Remy, and I'll be like, hey, Menor,
Yeah.
made it.
I got
So
you. I got
yeah,
you. I'll let you know where I'm sitting, and we'll do because if I dress up, I'm definitely gonna like try to reach out to like the other wrestlers that I know that like to dress up as well, take a nice cool picture, have my belt, my nice little baby. I love my belt.
Yeah. So my last question: you've been to WrestleMania, you're going to SummerSlam, but you were. I noticed you were recently at another Mania that for some reason I just can't find out where it is, and I'm talking about Subway Mania. How was that?
It was amazing. It's really a great experience. I was like, this is so New York. Like the people that were there are so New York. So I love it. And just being able to witness that, it was, I don't know. It's hard to explain it. It's so hard. So like the feeling that you get being in your city and seeing folks there. I was there when like Mike Santana was there. So and there are a few wrestlers that and like when you see those Joe Henry and the folks that are dressing up as wrestlers, they're like actual trained wrestlers. Like these are people that they just don't do it for fun, but also they're trained to do this. So it's such like a beautiful experience. And then just seeing all the different kinds of people that are there and how they view wrestling. And yeah, I would say that, man, I shout out to the team, the Subway Mania team. Like I can't wait for how to see how this grows for them. I can't wait to see like, this is so unique to New York. I don't even know if anyone can ever replicate it, because I know there's I'm thinking about other big cities who have trains, but I don't think there's nothing like New York.
Yeah, yeah. It's definitely something unique, and I'm glad that it's actually because they've been around for years now. And
Mm-hmm.
I'm kind of glad that they're getting like the recognition. Because at first you
Mm-hmm.
think, oh, it's just a couple of guys jumping around a train, but then it's funny how it could catch on. And now it's like something
Mm-hmm.
that's popular. And I don't know where I don't because and I was asking somebody like, where did they keep Subway Mania? Like I'd like to go to a show, but I can't. I don't know what train they're gonna be on. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Like I think it may have been our guest yesterday. Yeah, it was our guest yesterday, Princess Leah. We were talking. I was like, where do they keep Subway Mania? I don't know. Is it
Mm-hmm.
spontaneous? Do you have to be at the right place at the right time? Like, where do they keep this thing? It looks very entertaining. And I've talked to one person from there, not
Mm-hmm.
Tim Han Rivera, and I forgot his name too. But he dressed up. He dressed up as several wrestlers. Dressed up as Shawn Michaels, Razor Ramon, not Macho
Mm-hmm.
Verse. He dressed up as Macho Man one time, and I met him. I think his name was Chris. Asian. He's Asian. That's how I remembered. But
Yeah.
really cool guy. I had him on the show, and we talked about that. And yeah, that's something very creative that Tim did, and
Mm-hmm.
I wish him. I gotta ask Tim when I have him on the show. Speaking into existence, I gotta ask Tim
Yeah.
when I have him on the show if Jim the Gentrifier is ever gonna make if he's ever gonna make an appearance because that would be
He said
something to see. Jim the Gentrifier and Subway Mania. That would be
that was
something
funny. Yeah. Like
hilarious.
trying to break it up, like, what are you doing? This is not, yeah. But yeah, to say that it's very spontaneous, you don't know. It's like kind of like get ready so you don't be ready so you don't have to get ready kind of thing. So and it's super like if you're ready, then you're going. So yeah, it's very super spontaneous. And I also love that because it's like the element of surprise, which kind of feeds to like what mainstream wrestling gives us, like we sometimes you just really don't know where this story is going to go. So yeah, I'm speaking into existence too. I hope Tim, you have the opportunity to interview him and and the team, and you know and get the opportunity to go, because it's really something else.
Well, I'll tell you what. This right here motivates me to keep on going. To actually,
Yes.
keep shooting for the stars. And hopefully, he sees my email and he responds. But yeah, I gotta say, Menor, it was an honor to have you on. Thank you
Thank
very much.
you.
Hopefully we can have you back on for maybe one of our topics episodes or one of our prediction shows in the
Mhm.
future. We hope you actually, decide to get back into wrestling, and when you do, and you make that that referee debut, and you count that 1, 2, 3 in that main event,
Yeah.
we're able to contact you and have you back on the show as a referee. Not just as a fan, but as a referee now, because we've had people that have been on this show. that went on to join the industry as
Yeah.
wrestlers. So, and we like seeing it. We like seeing people, that were once on this show go forward and do great things, big things, and it makes us feel like proud, older siblings or parents. You're like,
Yeah.
yeah. So
Thank you.
we wish you nothing but the best. Congratulations on the master's degree from NYU. I know that was a lot of hard work, but you
Yeah, thank
persevered
you.
and made it happen. And we hope you get to travel all over the world and see wrestling all over the world as well, too, not just in Puerto Rico. So, with that being said, before we shut this show down, where can fellow fans find you on social media when they want to talk wrestling? And matter of fact, where can they find you when you make your referee debut and they want to purchase that Menor merchandise when you become a referee, and where can bookers and promoters? I'm speaking it into existence because you
Yeah.
never know. Where can bookers and
No, for
promoters
real.
find you when you make your debut and they want to book you for their shows?
Well, for now, Instagram, which is Menor double R underscores. That's MEN double R, the number two underscores. I'll comment below on wherever this is posted on. Yeah, I'm on, and TikTok is just Menor, like how it's spelled here, on the screen. And whenever I do become a referee, I might have to make a, I don't know, might have to take a separate Instagram, because even I've always said it that even if I get the opportunity to be in the industry, I still want to remain who I am and do these things and be humble, because like from humble beginnings is where great things manifest and be great. So yeah, that's where you can find me. And thank you so much for having me. This is my first interview podcast, and it's also motivating to me to continue to do what I do and the content that I want to make. And I always psych myself out of doing it. So this is like really, really, really good. And I appreciate you for giving me that opportunity.
Yeah, keep making that content. I like that one where you had where I saw you were watching that Mike Santana match. I was like, oh, this is well done. Definitely keep it up now. I'm looking forward to the next one. And I'm gonna say I apologize for the late start. Like I said, I was trying to
No,
get
it's okay.
Instagram. I was trying to connect Instagram, and for those of y'all that expected us to be on Instagram, we normally are, but for some reason the Wi-Fi here was on the fritz, so I couldn't make it happen. But hopefully next time we're on here, we will definitely have our Instagram feed up so that for those of you that want to be on Instagram and watch us, you can watch us as well too. Manny, thank you very much. Manny, if you're a fellow
Yeah.
content creator, we'd like to hear from you as well too. I mean, there's no forbidden door here at Ringside Setting. We talk to other podcasters as well too. We've had those wrestling girls and most of the jobber tears on here. So definitely feel free to hit us up. But uh those of y'all, follow this woman. She's incredible. You will
Thank
not be
you.
bored with her content.
Thank
You
you.
will definitely feel the emotion and be wanting more. So now you got to keep on going now. You can't
I
stop now
know.
because I'm
I know.
watching and people here are watching. So now you got to keep going now. But, anyways, with that being said, it's about time for us to shut this show down. My eyelids are getting heavy. My stomach is rumbling. That means it's time for dinner and a nap. But maybe not in that order. But before I partake in those activities, for those of you watching and listening, if you want to follow me on social media, not that I say a lot of cool things, but I do go to a lot of cool places. I started my ballpark tour. I'll be trying to go to the all the major league ballparks in the country. So and I'll also be going to Indonesia in October. So if you've never been to Indonesia and you want to see what Indonesia looks like, definitely stay tuned for that. Or if you've been to Indonesia already, not Bali, definitely stay tuned for a blast from the past or a trip down memory lane because I'll be there hopefully in October. Or if not, hey, maybe I'll go back. Maybe I'll go to Osaka, Japan, another great place. But I will be foreign in October, so stay tuned for that. You can definitely follow me on Instagram and Twitter and TikTok at the Remy Blue. I'm also on Blue Sky at remyblue.bsky.social. I'm also on Facebook, as you guessed it, Remy Blue. You can find me on there too. Our podcast is also on social media. Um, Okay. Wow, that's awesome. Cool. Well, Manny, DM us.
You
We'll
gotta
talk,
come.
and
You gotta come now.
we'll make it happen. We'll make that interview with you happen like a captain, if you want to. But our podcast also on social media. We're on Twitter, Instagram, and Blue Sky all across the board at Ringside Society. That's at Ringside Society. Just type that in, you'll find us. We're also on Twitch at Ringside Society 2019. We're also on Facebook in the Facebook group, and we're also on Spotify and Teespring, where we sell official Ringside Society merchandise. And last but not least, we're also on YouTube where you can find cool interviews like this one, like the one we had yesterday with our fellow wrestling fan and cosplayer Princess Leah, and also, our interview with Doctor the Wife, who is a bilingual commentator and ring announcer. That's hella impressive. You can find all of those interviews on YouTube, and to see them, it's really simple. It's not even pre-algebra. Just go on YouTube, type in Ringside Society. And once you see that really good looking dark blue and light blue yin yang sound with the blue flames around it, that's when you know it's us. So make sure you subscribe to all our videos because we got a lot of cool stuff coming up and you don't want to miss a thing like Aerosmith in 1998. But with that being said, we just want to let everybody know we're very well aware that everybody. And well, first off, we just want to thank everybody that tuned in live, tonight. Thank you very much. We really and truly appreciate it. We strive on being one of the best wrestling podcasts a wrestling fan could, should, and would listen to one of the realest wrestling podcasts in the game. And we're not going to stop striving on being that. To those of you that are going to listen later on, we get a chance. Thank you very much in advance. And those y'all that hate us, can't stand us, really and truly wish we just go away. Well, like myself at Golden Corral, we're not going anywhere for a while. So with that being said, we understand myself and my two co-hosts, Rob Bass and Kathy Knight, and the rest of the Ringside Society crew. We get it. Everybody and their grandparents have a podcast. But guess what? We're not your grandparents' podcast. We're not your parents' podcast. As a matter of fact, we're not just any podcast. So with that being said, I'm going to say right now, one time for the mind, one time for the people, one time for the wrestling culture, and one time for the very talented, creative Menor, who's going to make that referee debut. And I know it's going to happen. I'm speaking it into
Thank you.
existence.
Thank you. It's gonna
We're the
happen.
Wrestling Fans Podcast, Ringside Society. We'll be back later on this week with another impressive episode with another impressive guest. But until then, we just have four favors for y'all. Stay safe, stay healthy, be excellent to each other, and enjoy wrestling. We out. Peace.